Hey guys, Midwest Mama here. Welcome to the Unfiltered podcast where we talk about things going on with me, sometimes what's going on with you, and other events around the world. I'm your host, Midwest Mama. In today's episode, I am actually going to do a little recap from my week, which I sort of did last week, but not really. So this week was a little different. I did two very different types of shows than what I did the previous week, which if you've been following along on my journey, and this is only my second week into podcasting, so very new at this yet. I did a lot of format changes. You notice maybe that I'm trying to follow along with the script now. A little bit. It's still very rough, okay? But I'm getting better, I feel like. So now I've got a different intro and I've got a little thing that I say at the beginning and I'm trying to say the same thing at the end every time. So that's been good. I feel more organized. I feel more like a real podcaster rather than just some chick sitting in front of her laptop blabbering on about random shit. So you wouldn't probably not going to see me in my bathrobe too much anymore. Instead of recording every single day for a different upload every day, I'm trying to go every other day. It gives me more time to edit and it gives me more time to think about what I'm going to talk about versus I'm just talking. So hopefully that's better for you listeners. Let me know in the comments how you feel about these changes. I changed some of my studio this last week. I still have the printer in the way. We're still moving a lot of shit from my husband's house. I'm surrounded by boxes. So luckily you can't see that. It's getting kind of crowded. So at the moment I can't really move everything where I want to move it to. But that's okay. I'm just glad to have his stuff moved in. We are currently paying for two different households still. We've been married since October. So I will just be glad to have all his stuff here and not have to pay for two households anymore. That'd be great. So if you have been following along, you maybe have seen the last two episodes that I did were very, very different. The first one I did a live caller. I found a group on Facebook that had a chat room and I went in there and I said, hey, if anybody wants to talk about what's going on in their life on my podcast, call this number and let's talk. And somebody did. So that was super fun. I have been the therapist for my friends for years. I know I mentioned it in one of my first couple podcasts, but somebody had called me and asked me to come over and they needed some advice. And that's just one of the services I offer with my friendship package. So the call was really cool. It was weird talking to somebody that I don't know, but it was fun and it was different. And I felt like it gave an element to the show that was more like a real podcast. So with that, if anybody would like to be on the podcast in the future, you can be anonymous. I think I can change your voice, although I'm not sure. I'll have to play with that if that's needed. But definitely you can be anonymous. We can talk about pretty much whatever you want as long as it doesn't break guidelines and community standards on things. You know what they are, I'm sure. No sexual harassment. I am married, so don't call me looking for a date because I'll put my husband on the call. That'll be fun for everybody. But if you would like to join the show in that way, that's going to be Monday, January 20th, between the hours of 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that number is
928-366-5221.
I won't be able to take a whole bunch of calls. It just depends on how long they run. I'm thinking maybe like 2 if they last an hour apiece. So that would be cool. I believe you can text that number as well. So if you do try to call and you can't get through, you can text that number and I can save that for the following week. The other thing that I did this week that was different was an interview, and that went really well. It was a much longer episode than my previous episodes. It was like 40 minutes long, which seemed like a really long time, but honestly, the whole call was way longer than that. I did an interview with a firefighter who happens to be a friend of mine. We did talk about the California wildfires a little bit, and I think the interview went really well. So I plan on doing a weekly interview. I've got a few already in mind. I've talked to a couple of people that I know who do just different types of things. One person is very big into crafting. She does a lot of really interesting artwork and stuff. So I'm going to be interviewing her about all of that soon. I also am going to be interviewing a local TV personality friend of mine, just kind of get some insider scoop on the industry. We've been friends for a long time and he has asked me to come on his show before and I've always turned it down. The last time we talked, I said, once I get to a certain number of followers, I will come on your show. But until then, I just feel like kind of a nobody. So I don't want to be put out in the public eye like that. I'm very introverted actually in real life. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you probably see a lot of my memes. That's just my thing. I love memes. I have a meme group. We're going to do a meme podcast. Memes are life. So a lot of the memes that I post are introvert memes. I'm very introverted. I could stay in the house all day, as long as I have Wi-Fi and coffee. Yeah. And I wanted to do a couple of other segments in this podcast, which are just more like I want you guys to get to know my personality more so than I want you to get to know what I look like in a bathrobe and how much I bitch about not having my makeup on or how I have a headache. I mean, I do have a headache and I feel like I'm getting sick, but you know what? That's not what you're here for. So I'm just trying some things, and I would love to hear your feedback in the comments on any platform as to what you think about the changes to my show and how I'm improving, the formatting, the editing, my face, or whatever. Like I love feedback. So please feel free. If you think it's shit, tell me that. I don't care. I really don't. But if you're just trolling me, also save it. So, anyways, one of those segments I want to do on my weekly recap is some news stories from the week. They might be serious or they might not be. It's anyone's guess. This week, however, they are going to be sort of serious. So let's get into that. One of the topics, obviously, is the wildfires. It's terrible. There's so much devastation going on right now. And so I wanted to talk about that. All right, let's go to CNN. This is from 3 hours ago. I really don't follow mainstream media, but sometimes it is the easiest to access, obviously, for one. I wouldn't trust it for political news, okay? But I wouldn't trust any mainstream media for political related news, but these fires are not political. I don't want to talk about politics on this show. Like, I'm not going to talk about my political beliefs. At least I'm going to try not to. I'll talk about current events, and some of those might be somewhat political in nature, but we're not going to get into specific politics. So anyways, it looks like the fires across Los Angeles have killed at least 27 people, destroyed more than 12,000 structures, and burnt up more than 60 square miles. The Palisades and Eaton wildfires continue to burn today. This is Friday, January 17th. The Los Angeles Times article that I was trying to pull up actually said that those fires were more contained now than they have been. But this article says that they're burning still, which they are, but they're getting better on the containment. The winds have come down, giving firefighters a break and easing some of the threats, but dangerous conditions are expected next week, according to the National Weather Service. Curfews are still in effect for the Palisades and Eaton fire zones. That's 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I was listening to some news while I was taking a shower, and Altadena is really bad. The guy that was talking on the video was literally in Altadena and was walking around in neighborhoods, and these neighborhoods were like, the houses were on fire. He said there was just explosions everywhere, which can be from various things, but the cars were on fire. They were exploding, propane tanks, gas tanks, all kinds of things, guys. It's super bad. I don't know what is wrong with people. I mean, I'm not in California. I'm in Indiana. So I can't put my eyeballs on the situation, okay? But I have seen now at least one major social media influencer, major, like that's his main source of income now. And he said that he lives out there and he drove through and around this entire area that is on fire. And he said he didn't see any fire. He didn't even see any smoke. This is what I was talking about in a previous video. I believe it was episode 8, where I said that there's so much bullshit on the internet with AI now that literally when I see these photos and videos, I don't know if it's real. Okay? Like, it could be a fucking Hollywood movie. Man, I'm serious. Like, we don't know. Unless you're there watching with your eyeballs, we don't know. So if you live in California, around Los Angeles, and you're watching this, please comment and tell me what you are seeing with your eyeballs, because it's really hard to trust celebrities and Hollywood and the mainstream media. Okay? It's really hard. Like, again, I'm reading a mainstream media news source, CBS News, but I don't really know what to believe. Okay? I hear so many different things. I'm sure that this person that I'm referring to, who I will not call out by name, although maybe if I keep saying dumb bullshit. It's just so hard to believe. It's anyone's guess. So if you are out that direction, please, please, please tell me what you are seeing. Let's wrap that up on the fires. It's really bad. If it's real, it's really fucking bad. No good. Everybody's losing everything. So bad. It's bad, terrible, horrible, no good, very bad, bad. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the drones, specifically the drones in New Jersey. Did everyone forget about that? I feel like everybody forgot about it. The whole shit is still happening. Let's see if I can find an article about that. Over here on my handy dandy second monitor. I'm so fancy. Again, not to get political, what is happening is happening. It doesn't matter who I voted for. But Trump said that he is going to release info on the drones on day 2 of his new term, which means on 1/21, next Tuesday, we should expect some fucking answers. Okay, so far we haven't gotten any, but it's been very confusing. This is a list I made like a week ago, but there have been sightings in Virginia, New Jersey, New Orleans, Wyoming, and many other places. I just looked at a list of places around New Jersey, and it's like a really extensive list of cities and towns around New Jersey who have been spotting them. Another thing that's interesting is, I don't know the guy's name. I watched the press conference. I know his first name is Glenn. I'm sorry, I can't tell you what his last name is, but he said that for 2 years, we have been having drone incursions over secure airspace, and we still don't know why. So you're telling me that the U.S. secure airspace and military bases and other such installations have been having unknown drones hovering about, and nobody knows why, and no one's doing anything about it. Hello? What? So personally, I can't wait to hear what information the Trump administration releases next week about these drones. I am very big into conspiracy theories. Not that I believe them all, just that I'm always in pursuit of information about them. Okay, so Trump is going to supposedly release the information he has on the drones in just a few days, 4 to be specific. So that will be very interesting. And that brings me to my very last news topic, which is, of course, the inauguration on Monday, which will be the same day that I try to do a live call with somebody. If you want to talk about that, I will listen. I will try not to give my opinions. My job as the live calls is mostly to be a listener. If you want to talk about relationships and you need advice, I'm happy to do that. If you just want to get your opinion out there, as long as you are not hateful, I will put it out there. This is an equal opportunity podcast, okay? So yeah, we have the inauguration Monday. Again, I'm not going to tell you which side I'm on. I'm just going to tell you that I'm pretty nervous. Literally everything that happens in Washington, D.C. has backlash for us. That's why I'm nervous. I think that there's quite a possibility that both sides of the aisle will just erupt with chaos and possibly violence. And I think that's a bad plan. I do not want that to happen. Yeah, I'm just nervous to see what's going to happen. It's a big deal. It's very tense. Everybody's very heated and everybody's very strongly opinionated, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's good to feel strongly about your convictions. What's not good is to hate other people because they don't agree with your convictions. So let's remember that it's really not one side against the other side. It's not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be the people against. Hopefully you know what I'm getting at, but I don't think I can say that on YouTube. So anyways, yay, the inauguration's Monday. Go Team American. Okay, love you. Next. Also, let's get into some funner things. Something that I do pretty regularly is make up words. I'm sure everybody does that, but I thought it would be fun for me to share some of my made up words with you. So the word for today is ballerino. Ballerino. Dance on, little ballerinos. So that was our word of the day, ballerino. The next thing I want to do is a fun fact of the day. Did you know that a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance? Bet you didn't. Maybe the group of flamingos can go join the gay men's chorus over in Los Angeles. They can all just flamboyance together. That sounds fun. I probably can't put that on YouTube. So a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. How fun. Let's see if I can throw an image on the screen. Maybe like this. Okay. No. Yes, I could make it do that. All right, so I face swapped a bunch of memes. So I thought it would be fun if I put them up on my screen. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So you know this meme, I'm sure you do. Of course, that's my face. All of those, me. Ask your doctor if shutting the fuck up is right for you. Well, because sometimes it is. This one is a face swap, okay? But because it's a cartoon, it looks nothing like me. It just looks terrifying. Very funny though, and also me. Yes, also me. We don't need this kind of negativity. If we want to post memes all day, we're just gonna do that. So shut the fuck up. So there's all those. Hope you enjoy them. The next thing is strange ads that I see on Facebook. I don't know what is actually happening or why these ads are popping up. There's no way that this shit's real. But one of them is pube wigs. Okay, you can sort of see that. Pube wigs? Huh? I don't understand why. I thought we were supposed to shave that. Weird as fuck. Yeah. So weird. The other one is a Christmas tree crystal glass decoration. That is the description on Shop Temu on Facebook. As you can see, it looks very much like a butt plug. Temu, you are not fooling anyone. The other one was an eggplant that is definitely a dildo. The internet asked and Temu listened. Okay. They said, we want big eggplants. And Temu said, we fucking got you, bitches. But it's actually an eggplant. I don't know who wants that, but evidently somebody wants that. So I hope you found this interesting and amusing. I feel like we're making lots of progress. I hope you like this podcast and I hope you come back for more. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to my Unfiltered podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your friends. Follow me on Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram for more updates. Until next time, love you, bye.
I also want to give a huge shout out to the ladies in need of some girl to girl wisdom chat within the Women with Attitude community. So thank you so much for letting me post my podcast in the chat. I appreciate you. Okay, love you. Bye.